Imagine if this whole idea of there are two ways to save was true. So you got all these people who did their works, they kept all those laws, and God says, you kept them well enough that you can get into heaven. So they go to heaven. And then you have other people who are simply saved by grace through faith. It's not about my good works outweigh my bad works. They go to heaven and they have a conversation, and it goes something like this. Man, isn't this great to be here? Oh, it's fantastic. Hey, tell me what it was like to live in the Old Testament days. And he goes, oh, it's way different. We didn't have flushing toilets, and we have streets of gold, and you look at all that. And then it was tough. I mean, God gave us all these laws, and we kept them. So how did you get here then? Well, I was obedient, man. I figured out that's how you get to heaven, and I wanted to be obedient. And so I made sure I kept all those feast days, and I brought my lambs and my sacrifices, and I did all this stuff, and I'm here. I'm here because I kept God's law. And the other guy goes, wow, I'm glad you're here. Fantastic. And then the Old Testament guy says to the New Testament guy, so tell me about your story. Where are you from? And he tells about his background. He says, and how did you get here? Well, you know what? I just accepted Jesus, and he came into my heart, and I didn't have to worry about keeping any law. I just continued living my life and just went to church. And I'm good to go here. That's why I'm here. And I would imagine the Old Testament guy would say, let me go have a talk with God.
May I speak with the manager, please?
Yeah. But it just goes to illustrate that wouldn't be fair of God either.